Hi, it's First Summer Pennies, God's Best for You, and Daily Guideposts. This one's called Mockery. Here is a poem that is easy to learn. It sounds just like a song, doesn't it? Have you ever noticed that the flowers smell sweeter at night? Did the moon ever play a joke like this on you? Happened that the moon was up before I went to bed, poking through the bramble trees, her round gold head. I didn't stop for stocking, I didn't stop for shoe, but went running out to meet her. Oh, the night was blue. Barefoot down the hill road, dust beneath my toes, barefoot in the pasture, smelling sweet of fern and rose. Oh, night was running with me, tame folk were all in bed, and the moon was just showing her wild gold head. But before I reached the hilltop where the bramble trees are tall, I looked to see my lady moon. She wasn't there at all. Not sitting on the hilltop, nor slipping through the air, nor hanging in the brambles by her bright gold hair. I walked slowly down the pasture and slowly up the hill, wondering and very, very still. I wouldn't look behind me. I went at once to bed, and poking through the window was her bold gold head. By Catherine Dixon Riggs. It's so cute. It's Modern Poems for Boys and Girls from 1925. And then, God's Best for You. Good Purpose. God's will for his people is that we believe in his son Jesus and live according to his commandments. This is clearly taught in the Bible, and it applies to all of us. In addition, he has a specific purpose for individual believers, and he calls each of us by name. In answering his call, we discover personal fulfillment and lasting joy. For some, God's call is plain from an early age. You've likely heard many accomplished people say, "I've always known I wanted to be a missionary." Or from the day my aunt took me to the hospital where she worked, I wanted to be a doctor. But most of us aren't sure of our path so young, and we aren't aware of a unique calling. We pursue what we suppose is a fairly ordinary course of life, later wondering if God ever meant us for any specific purpose, and if so, what is it? You can determine your calling simply by observing who you are and where you are. If you're a parent, guardian, or caregiver, you are called to extend God's caring and compassion to others. If you're in the workplace, you're called to be God's light among people who may not know his love for them. If you volunteer, you are called to give selflessly and generously in visible, practical ways. What are your responsibilities right now? What does his Spirit prompt you to do? Or where does he urge you to go? Look and see your life through his eyes, and you will know his good, gracious, and fulfilling plan and purpose for you. It is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Philippians 2:13. And then for daily guideposts. I like all this. April 23. First go and be reconciled with your brother, then come and offer your gift. Matthew 5:24. At a church potluck a while ago, older parishioners were asked to share childhood memories to help us younger parents strengthen our families. An elderly Greek lady, Helen, told us that every Saturday evening her family had prayed special prayers, ending the week and starting the new one. Most importantly, they asked forgiveness of each other and their father. Only then did I feel ready to go to church the next day, Helen said. Their Saturday ritual seemed only an interesting old custom until a few weeks later, when our family attended the liturgy at a Romanian Orthodox monastery in southern Michigan. During the liturgy, the clergy embraced and asked forgiveness of each other, then bowed to the congregation, asking the people to forgive them. When they had finished doing this, the woman in front of me turned to the lady next to her and whispered, "Forgive me, Mom." Her mom asked her for forgiveness in turn, and they hugged each other. Then before receiving Holy Communion, I noticed each nun go to the abbess, bow and ask forgiveness, then turn and bow to all other nuns. Looking at my husband Alex across the heads of our children, I mouthed the words, "Forgive me." "I do forgive me too," he whispered. He reached behind the kids and gave each other's hand a squeeze. Now, before our family receives a communion each Sunday, we ask each other's forgiveness. Sometimes we think of specifics such as, "Forgive me for losing my temper and shouting at you," Or forgive me for not doing what you asked right away. At other times, nothing definite comes to mind, but we ask pardon for anyways we've wronged or failed each other, knowingly or unknowingly, and seal our reconciliation with a big hug. Cleansed of the past week's failures or irritations, we are renewed to start fresh another week, fighting the good fight of the faith. Father, before I worship you today, help me be at peace with everyone. Mary Brown. Awesome. Thank you.